Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to NetworkTechZone. My name is Sanjana. So far we have configured all the three modes of EtherChannel, including LACP, Papg and static mode. We have also learned about configuration of layer 3 EtherChannel and EtherChannel load balancing. I have added the link for those videos in the description box below. Today, let's discuss about troubleshooting EtherChannel bundle and use of Misconfiguration Gaurd command. Here are the characteristics of EtherChannel. Spanning tree protocol will not be blocking redundant EtherChannel bundles between the two switches, and EtherChannel configuration is applied to each physical port. So when you consider spanning tree, so what spanning tree protocol does is it will make sure that there are no loops in our network. And when you observe a port is going down into blocking state, that means it's preventing a loop in our topology. But since in EtherChannel, you will be creating one single logical link out of the number of physical ports, spanning tree protocol will treat the one logical link as a single individual connection. Let's understand some basic characteristics that must be matched in order to create a port channel. Firstly, we have got port mode. So what is a port mode? So all the layer 2 port channels must be configured either as an access or trunk. Let's assume that we have a switch 1 and we have switch 2. So one of the port, if you are going to configure this port as access, port 1, okay, 2, and okay. So let's assume this end of the port, that is port fast Ethernet 0/0, you will configure this single port as a access, okay, and the other end is a trunk. There will be anyway formation of port channel, but this port, if you check, it will be in suspended, okay, and same happens on this port as well. The port on this, if you give the command show EtherChannel summary, you will see there is formation of port channels. Say for example, port channel 1, 2, but the port here for port number 1 will be suspended, okay. Similarly, let's go to port type. What is port type? In port type, every port must be configured to be either layer 2 or layer 3. You cannot have layer 2 on one of the port and layer 3 on the other side of the switch, okay. So if you have switch 1, switch 2, this must be L2, this must be L2. Only then you can create a port channel with no errors, okay. Okay, and the next parameter we have is trunk native VLAN. We know by default your native VLAN is VLAN 1, right? If you are having native VLAN is VLAN 1, and if you are configuring the other end of the switch on any of the port for VLAN, say for VLAN 2, and this is your native VLAN, okay, again EtherChannel will have some errors. It will be suspended. Whatever ports you will be configuring, that will be suspended. And next is the allowed VLAN. Make sure that you allow the VLAN IDs, whatever you're going to configure, okay, that needs to match. So if you have allowed VLAN is all, and if you will allow just VLAN 1 and VLAN 2 on this switch, again there is going to be some errors. So make sure that whatever VLAN IDs you are going to configure, that needs to be matched. And here are other parameters like speed. Make sure that all the ports in your port channel must be having the same speed, and also make sure that the ports must have the same MTU. Okay, that is either a port or interfaces. That's what I mean. So whatever port that you're going to configure, that or whatever the interfaces that's going to participate in the port channel must be having the same speed, same MTU, and also the same storm control. So with this said, let's get started with our lab to practically understand these features. And also we will learn about some basics about what is Misconfiguration Gaurd and how to configure it. Okay, let's get started with the lab. Let us take two switches, and both the switches belong to layer 2. I have not done any configuration so far on these devices. Okay, so first, what our intention is, we are going to configure both these switches to form ether channel, and we will do some misconfigurations and then observe the changes, and let's verify the results. Okay, let's move to switch. We'll move to switch 1 first. Let us rename that since it's just showing us a switch. Let's change that to switch 1. Okay. And we have 2 ports on this switch 1. Okay, so we will use range command. Interface range Ethernet 0/0 until Ethernet 0/1. Switch port trunk encapsulation .1q. Switch port mode trunk. Okay. And we also need to configure this as a channel group. And here, let us use LACP. I'll say channel group, and I'll give a number here. So channel group 1, 2, mode active. You can use Papg, depends on your choice. So we'll use active here. It's creating a port channel, and let us verify. Show interface. Let's not use interface command. Let us use show ether channel summary. You can see port channel is created, port number. You can see 1, 2, the number that we specified. LACP is the protocol. And at this moment, it's showing S. What does this mean? S means it's suspended. Both the ports are suspended. There is a formation of port channel, but it is saying D here. S is the switch. Okay, that is our layer 2. And D stands for down. Why is it down? Because the other end of the switch is not yet configured. And both these ports are suspended because we have not configured anything on the switch 2. Let us move to switch 2 now. Let us rename this. Host name switch 2. Okay. We have 2 port here, right? Ethernet 0/0 and 0/1. Let's use range command. Ethernet 0/0 until Ethernet 1. Switch port trunk encapsulation .1q. Switch port mode trunk. Channel group we have to use the same number here. We have used 12 there, and I'm going to use the same here. So channel group 12 mode. We use active, and this side I will use passive. It's creating a port channel. Let us verify. Show EtherChannel summary. It's waiting because it's getting some information. Let us verify now. Show. Yeah, now it should come up. Show EtherChannel summary. Okay, so that worked. Let us now verify the VLAN configurations, which is already present. Let's go to switch number 2. On the switch 1, let's use the command show interface trunk. Okay, here you can see it's a port channel 1 to 12, and we have encapsulation 802.1q trunking, and the native VLAN is VLAN 1. Okay, allowed VLANs are from 1 till 4094. Okay, so these are the VLANs which are allowed on the switch 2. What we are going to do here is we know that this have been configured as a trunk. What misconfiguration are we going to do here is we will be changing the port mode on switch number 1 from trunk to access. We will do that only on Ethernet 0/1 to identify what is the result. Okay. And then we will be converting switch number 1 as a layer 2 with the help of no switch port command. We'll make this as a layer 3, and switch 2 will remain as a layer 2. And the next misconfiguration we are going to do is, we already know on switch 2, we will keep that as a native VLAN 1 by default. However, on this port, on this switch, I will go ahead and configure say a VLAN 1 and 2, okay, for this port. And then we will verify the result. And since the allowed VLANs on switch number 2 are already 1 till 4094 by default, on this port, that is Ethernet 0/1 on switch 1, we will allow just 2 VLANs, that is VLAN 1 and VLAN 2. Okay, and then we will observe the result. And by default, the duplex on switch 2 will be auto, right? And here we will make the changes for half, and we'll see the results. And finally, we will verify the commands here: show spanning tree, show interface trunk, and show ether channel, and we will verify our results. So we will do misconfigurations on switch 1, but on switch 2, we will leave the way it is. On switch 1, config terminal. Let's make some misconfig here for Ethernet 0/1. Interface Ethernet 0/1. Since we earlier configured it as a trunk, we will just choose one port here for all this mismatch that we are going to create, and we will then troubleshoot to fix it. So let's choose no switch port. Since the first one is access, so we will make that as an access port. So switch port mode access. Now the port is changed from trunk to access. So you're getting this error, Ethernet 0/1 is not compatible with Ethernet 0/0 and will be suspended. Why? Because the other end of the switch is a trunk port. But here we configured this port as an access port. And on the switch 2, do you see this error? You're getting this error, Ethernet 0/1 suspended. LACP currently not enabled on the remote part. Why? Because instead of trunk, we have configured access. Okay, let's check with the command show ether channel summary. Do you see that it is suspended here? Ethernet 0/1 is suspended. Okay, because it is not a part of port channel anymore. And the same is going to be accepted here. Even if you come here on this switch, it will show it is suspended. That particular port which we misconfigured will remain suspended. That's what you can see. Okay. All you have done is just you misconfigured one port on switch 1, but on the switch 2 also you can see it is suspended. So that's how the misconfiguration will look like. Okay, so we always need to make sure that both the end of the switches are having the same characteristic feature. If not, you will see this kind of errors in your port channel. Okay, I'm going to revert that back from access back to the trunk. I'll go to same interface interface Ethernet 0/1. And I will configure that as a trunk, switch port, trunk encapsulation.1q, switch port, mode, trunk. That's all. It will take a while. Let's check now. Show ether channel summary. It's back to bundled. It's P stands for bundled in port channel. So that particular port which was suspended earlier is now bundled within this port channel after we have reverted back the configuration from access to trunk. Let's verify on switch 2. Show ether channel summary. You can see it is back to port bundle within the port channel, Ethernet 0/1 port. Okay. Okay, so now we are done with the misconfiguration on the first task. We will move to task number 2. Task number 2 is we need to convert this switch 1 to act like a layer 3. And how do we do that? We use it using the command no switch port. Config terminal interface Ethernet 0/1. We will just use this single port for all the mismatch. We are not going to touch any other ports. Okay, so Ethernet 0/1 on switch 1. And we will say no switch port. Now it is layer 3. Let's also as an IP address, because it's layer 3, I'll say IP address 1.1.1.1. And I'll choose class A subnet mask /8. Okay. And I'll say exit. You will see that little error that happens in just a while. Let us check. Show ether channel summary. You don't even see that port. Ether channel 0/1 is not present anymore. How about this switch to here? Let's check. Show EtherChannel summary. Show EtherChannel summary. It's waiting. After some time, it will go suspended. Let's just wait. What does the W stands for? Waiting to be aggregated. And now it's saying suspended. Let's verify. Show EtherChannel summary. You see this? It's got suspended. The reason is because this port here is been removed from the port channel bundle on the switch 1. It's no more present. And since this is not present, the other side is showing as suspended. So we're done with the task 2. And let's move to task 3, where we need to configure native VLAN 10. You already know by default, the native VLAN here on the switch 2 is on all the switches. I mean, the native VLAN by default is VLAN 1, right? Let us change here. Let's move to the same interface. Oh, before that, let's revert that layer 2. We need to change that from layer 3 to layer 2. So interface Ethernet 0/1 switch port, no IP address. No IP address. Okay. Let's verify. Show EtherChannel summary. It's back in the port. It's bundled now. Okay, we're done with the configuration here on the task number 2. Let's move to task number 3. Let's change the VLAN, native VLAN from 1, and we'll make that as a native VLAN 10. Config terminal interface Ethernet 0/1 switch port trunk native VLAN. Let's say native VLAN 10. Okay, we'll say native VLAN 10. It's saying VLAN 10 is not found in the current VLAN. And now you're getting this error. It's suspended. You see that VLAN mismatch is happening. And it is saying on this other end of the switch, Ethernet 0/1 will be suspended. Okay, so this is what happens. So let's go ahead and say, show EtherChannel summary. And it is suspended here on the switch 1 because we configured native VLAN 10, whereas the remote end has native VLAN 1. Show EtherChannel summary. You can see it is suspended on the other side also. Okay, let's revert that back now. So configure terminal interface Ethernet 0/1. Now I want to revert that back, so I'll use switch port trunk native VLAN 1. Control Z, exit out. Let's check, show EtherChannel summary. And now it's back bundled into port channel 1, 2. Okay, we're done with the task number 1, 2, and 3. Let's move to allow VLAN 1 and VLAN 2. Okay, on switch 1. Because on the other side, the VLANs we have allowed was by default. What was that? Let's check. Show interface trunk. Okay, it's VLAN 1 until VLAN 4094. Now we are on a switch 1. And let's allow just VLAN 12. Okay, it's just looking like a number for me. We'll allow VLAN 12. Okay, let's see. Configure terminal. Interface Ethernet 0/1. Switch port trunk. Allowed VLAN. Just one VLAN, which is 12. And I'll say exit out. It's saying it's not compatible and will be suspended. So this is the error that we are getting. And here also you can see that you're getting some error. Let's verify, show EtherChannel summary. So make sure that whenever you are allowing any VLANs, both the VLANs which you're allowing on both the switches needs to be matched. If not, you get this misconfiguration error. Okay, so let's check on this switch to show EtherChannel summary. You're getting that error here as well. Let's go ahead and verify the duplex settings on the switch 2. Let's move to this Ethernet 0/1 and see what we have for the duplex. So we will use show interface Ethernet 0/1. And you can see the duplex is set to auto on this switch 2. Let's make some changes on switch 1. On switch 1, we use config terminal, interface EtherChannel, interface Ethernet 0/1, duplex half, and let's check what happens. So here we have duplex was auto, but let's wait and see. Show EtherChannel summary, it's suspended. Okay, let's verify here. Show EtherChannel summary, suspended on this side as well. Okay, let's revert that back from half duplex to auto. Config terminal, interface, Ethernet 0/1, duplex. Let's make duplex full and see what happens. Show EtherChannel summary. It's even no matter if you make half or full, it is showing suspended. But if you change that from auto to what we did just change, duplex was full, right? Then you should not be getting that error. Let's check here. Configure terminal, interface Ethernet 0/1, duplex full. Do you want to see the results? Let's wait and check. Show EtherChannel summary suspended. Show EtherChannel summary suspended. Okay, that means you got this full and this is full. This both are auto, right? So we need to revert that back. So let's go ahead and make some changes again. Config terminal, interface Ethernet 0/1, no duplex. So that will revert back to auto. If you want to verify, show interface Ethernet 0/1. Back to duplex is auto. Let's check here. We need to revert the duplex back to auto here as well. So config terminal, interface Ethernet 0/1, duplex. Sorry, no duplex. We are changing that back to auto duplex. So let's verify. Show EtherChannel summary. Let's check. Show interface EtherChannel Ethernet 0/1. It's auto duplex. Let's check on this side. Show EtherChannel summary suspended here. Let's verify what's wrong. Show run interface Ethernet 0/1. And I'm seeing that we still have that misconfiguration which we did for VLAN, allowed VLAN 1, 2. Let's allow all the VLANs or just remove this. Config terminal interface Ethernet 0/1. And no. Okay, let's check now. Show EtherChannel summary. Now it's back bundled in the port channel. Show EtherChannel summary. It's bundled in the port channel. Okay, so we are done with configurations on task 1, task 2, 3, 4, and 5. You have another command here, show spanning tree summary. And here you see EtherChannel Misconfig Gaurd is enabled. Since this command is enabled here, you will see that you're getting all those errors like this. Okay, you got these errors. The reason is because the misconfiguration guard has been enabled. If you want to disable this, you can use a command here. Let me just configure that. Config terminal. No spanning tree. EtherChannel guard misconfig. Okay, let's check. Show spanning tree summary. Now you can see EtherChannel misconfig guard is disabled, right? So if you want to revert that back again, and if you do this, you won't be seeing any of these errors, which is not a good thing. So it's always good to have this enabled in our switch. Let's go to config terminal, spanning tree, EtherChannel guard misconfig. And if you want to verify, show spanning tree summary. EtherChannel misconfig guard is enabled. Okay, that's all about the troubleshooting EtherChannel bundle and about the misconfiguration guard. I hope that this video has been informative and has helped you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.